Now, can you hear me now? Can you hear me and see me? I just was saying that I've been goofing around. I cleaned off my glass mat because no matter when you think it's clean, if you rub your hands across it, you could feel all the stuff that it's not clean. So I've been cleaning that. I've been goofing around because I was ready to go quite a while ago. And then go live and it tells me I don't have permission. So I must have left it on there too long because I brought it all up and I was ready. I was just going to hit the button. And yes, thanks, Dawn. And then when I got that all set and saw Vesta was on, she usually says, see you and hear you. And I looked and realized I hadn't turned my voice on my phone part. So I'm glad you guys watching from the roads in Southwest Michigan. Where are you headed to, Mrs. Green? And Amanda's on. Look at all the people hopping on. I'm gonna get Vesta. Dawn's on. Yay! Hi, Dawn. Amanda. Christy's on. Hey, Christy. Okay, Debbie. Thank you guys for joining on this rainy and cold Wednesday night here in Michigan, Vicksburg, Michigan. Anyway, is rainy and cold. Mike's had the heat on today, and I, believe it or not, go upstairs and I'm sweating my rear end off. He's got it so hot up there, but I got a sweatshirt on down here, so I could probably take it off because I'm under all these lights. Now I see what a movie star feels like under all these lights, but I'm getting a little toasty, so I may take it off. You never know. But I've got some fun cards tonight for you guys. I have two the popcorn cards winners. We have Vesta won a popcorn from last week, and Debbie Green won a popcorn from last week. So I will get those to the post office probably tomorrow. We're hoping that it'll be nice. We'll walk down there tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll buzz them down there because I have a couple cards. I should have showed you guys. I made some. Does anybody remember the old envelope maker? I still have mine, along with almost every other Stampin' Up! Thing I've ever bought, or stamping related thing. But I made some gift cards for my friend that needed a couple custom money envelope holders, and I used that, so that was pretty cool. I like how they turned out. Oh, over 2 inches of rain. Holy cow, Mom. Ugh. It's been raining on and off here all day, but Mike wanted me to show that envelope tonight because if you guys saw on my Facebook here, I've been up to my eyeballs in graduation cards for my driveway chalet thing, and then my vacation Bible school thing, craft projects I'm helping my friend with. I had hundreds of those. I showed you all the scrap. I don't even know how much paper I cut yesterday, but it was a lot because it was 100 projects. And that Cricut went almost nonstop it was 8 hours, but I stopped for dinner for about an hour. It was just crazy. So yeah, it's been just wild. And I've showed you my desktop. It's just completely out of sorts now. And Sheila's coming over tomorrow to work on those little kids craft things. I think we're gonna glue part of the car together and stuff. So I gotta clean up. So we got a place to sit. It's everywhere. It just looks like my craft room exploded down here. Just stuff everywhere. But I guess that's a good thing to have, right? That means I'm getting some use out of my stuff. I do have a box of stuff that is just screaming. I can hear it over there in the corner. Chill, play with this. Of my new stuff that I got that I haven't played with, you guys. So today I grabbed some stuff that I wanted to use the frame, and I believe it's in the Gallery Blooms Suite. I think that's the name of it. Had a frame, but the first one that I ran across is the Sentimental Framing dies. And I'm like, oh, yes, those. I'm going to use those. So that's what I grabbed. That's what I'm using. Oh, and more rain to come. Yucky. So let me turn my camera down. I showed you guys my winners. Stampin' Up! Didn't have a lot of information today. They are starting, or yesterday, they are starting to kind of tell us about the month by month. I don't even remember the name of it. It's a virtual scrapbooking event, month to month for the whole year or something. And it's a little pricey. It's like $250. But according to the Close to My Heart girls, that is a-okay normal. I will be making a post to my newsletter group. So if you get my newsletter, you'll see, I'll tell you all about it. And it comes with 12 different months worth of scrapbook pages, all cut, all ready to go for, it has instructions for gluing them down. You get, I think I saw 4 stamp sets. You get exclusive paper that's just for this, die cuts just for this. You get invited to a private Facebook group, and then 3 days of virtual retreat. So 3 days of retreat, which I thought this would be awesome if you could get together with some friends and watch it. You didn't, because you get access for as long as they can keep it out there. So you don't have to do it in July. It's like July 16th, 17th, 18th, maybe somewhere in there. And you don't have to do it in July. You could get together with your friends in the fall and put it together. And you don't have to, everybody doesn't have to use the same page for March, because March here in the US may be winter somewhere else. So you'll want to switch it up to fit what you need. And so I'll send out an email about that when I get all that around. That will be coming May 28th, I believe. You can sign up for that. And once you buy the kit, that's what signs you up. They are limited. So yeah. Also the sign up special, perfect time. I keep telling you, $165 worth of stuff for $99. Load up your craft room, do whatever you need to do to get yourself situated, and then just start having a ball. If you want to keep ordering, you get 20% off on your orders. Soon enough, you'll get 25% off your orders. And that's it. You don't have to sell. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. So hit me up. We'll talk. Sign up. Love to have you come along with this. The friendships, the stuff that you get access to, the people. The people are my favorite. Most of you guys are my new people. So it has brought me a whole new realm of people and creativity and just personalities and fun. I just love hanging out with so many. But anyway, ramble. I'm gonna turn my camera down because yes, I should learn how to ramble and multitask, right? Yeah, you crazy people for sure, Tony. So, oh yeah, 16, 17, 18. That is the dealio, the virtual retreat. It looks awesome, you guys. On stampinup.com, I believe it was, when I was in Hobart, and so now I'm drawing a blank on when that was, the first part of May, so like the second, Stampin' Up. Not stampinup.com, Stampin' Up's Facebook page, they did a kickoff to scrapbooking weekend, and I kept putting that in my newsletter so that you guys didn't miss it. It was free, and you could go, and then they wanted you to have a kit. So I personally bought, and I should have that to show you too. I personally bought the one in the clearance rack that is an old Close to My Heart one. You guys, you know what? I'm going to get it just in case they still have it. I just can't. I know I'm digressing. This video is going to go forever, so if you're watching replay, just zip ahead. But this is what I got, you guys, off the clearance rack. I think this was like $160 regular, and it's on the clearance rack for like 50. And so I bought this to do that like 3-hour thing with, and I'm zoomed in too close, but it came with a stamp set and dies. It came, oh, these are the dies. Stamp set. Oh, stamp set and thin cut. See, I don't even know what Close to My Heart had. So there's dies in there. And so then there must be more dies. But for the $50, you guys, you couldn't beat this. This says thin cuts too, so I'm thinking that is also dies that make this stuff. We got some colored dots. These photo holders, I think you put those on your page to let you know where to put a photo. There's instructions, and this is kind of what that virtual retreat's going to be. It's going to be all the instructions, and then it shows you the page, like the piece of paper, and it tells you which page everything goes on, which side of the paper to use, if it's dark or light. Like I said, I couldn't pass it up, because if I have not really ever scrapbooked, and I wanted to get my feet wet with how Stampin' Up is helping Close to My Heart, and Stampin' Up are helping get scrapbooking out there to the masses. And I thought, well, what better time to do it than when I can get this thing on clearance. And as you can see, I'm just opening it. I haven't even had a chance to do it, but I got paper, and that's what the virtual retreat's going to be. It said it was exclusive paper and die stamp sets. And so then this is cardstock, coordinating cardstock, and then plain cardstock, just solid to make the pages with. And so, like I said, you can't beat it for $50. I know it was under 60. You can't even get the stamp set and all these dies. Let me see what this is before I tell you that they're dies. Feels a little flimsy, but it feels like you get a magnetic sheet. Yeah, it's dies on a magnetic sheet. Stampin' Up doesn't even give you magnetic sheet. How about that? And this is all for under $60. So if you are not a scrapbooker yet, I highly encourage you to give it a try. Buy this kit, and of course, buy it from me. But get this kit and give it a try and see how it works. I know a lot of people don't like the punch outs. You could even turn this into a whole slew of cards. But that was one of the first things that Stampin' Up got from Close to My Heart that they offered. And so that's why it's got Close to My Heart branding on it, and probably why it's on the clearance rack. But we're moving on to what I got today. So I got my Sentimental Framing. This is an online exclusive. It has the bundle, it has these cool dies. Look at them all. I'll pull it back down, and then a sentiment set with it. That's the bundle. And so I'll show you. I got 2 cards, you guys. So we're going to do, I'll do this one first. We'll do this one first. So I just had a card like this, and I'll explain this as I go. What I tried to do, let me find all my pieces, because I was actually going to start with the other one first. I'm using this pack of paper, this beautiful gallery. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Like I said, probably my all-time favorite pack of paper. It's just the scenes in this, the artisan, or the artist at the home office just did beautiful with this. So I use this pack of paper. This comes in the suite of the gallery blooms. And so you get this set, this paper. They have their own dies. I will have all of the supplies on the the YouTube comments, like of my YouTube video. It'll all be down in the bottom. or on my greenthumbstamperscom, which I don't use it like a blog, but I do blog posts on there. And the cards will be there probably tomorrow and all the supplies. So I used the first thing I wanted to do in my head was to use the big frame. Let me get the dies back here for a hot second. When I tell you the big frame. So this guy here is the big frame. And I wanted to use that and put it on here so that it did this. When it opened, it was attached, but it's really big. Covers the whole front. So as you can see, it's probably 5 1/4 by 4 when it's cut out. But when it punches out, you get this piece. Comes out of the center. So I have a couple of these now. I did not use them. Whoever gets the card kit next week, I'm including all these little extra pieces so that you can goof around with it. So then I turned my head to using this piece on here. So then I cut the smaller frame, which is this one. And it is, I'm going to say 2.5 by 3 3/4. And it will fit perfectly on here. And you guys, I cut everything out ahead of time. Oops, and I missed one because the little dots weren't popping out, and I didn't want you to have to hang on with me while I picked all these little dots out. But as you can see, I still got a couple in there to get out. And that might not have been a dot. That might have just been a hole I made. So I'm going to use these two. And then this comes out of the center. So you could use that, however, on your card as a tag, a sentiment, and heat emboss some, like with some white or silver or gold or rose gold, whatever color of embossing powder you might have. So we'll set that piece aside. And then I'm using, let's see if I can find the piece of paper real quick. I should have pulled all the extras out. See, I have all this time and didn't use it properly. So here's the piece of paper that I used. Oh, I'm going up too high for my video. Sorry, guys. Here's the piece of paper that I used. And then I cut out like 1 3/4 inch strip to go behind. And then I cut another one out, and then I had one more left over. So my card for this is going to end up using this little third. And yeah, it's not really all the best for a focal point, but it works. It works. And so you can take your scissors, your cutter, let's trim that down. Just want to trim it somewhat and get that excess off there. Let's see. And I still want to trim it a little bit more so that it fits on my underneath my black, but I really don't want so much showing through the holes. All right, so we're gonna go with this. Let's see how tall we need it. Eyeballing it. We're gonna cut right here. I'll cut right here. Welcome to the world of just cut wherever it looks good. Stick that in the center. So then I'm gonna glue this on. To the back. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue around the frame. And then we'll shimmy this up in there. I got glue oozing everywhere. I'm going to move that up just to the very edge so that we've got more of the groundwork showing through there. I wanted the fence. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to glue it onto this other frame here. And the frame is kind of twirly. It goes like in and out, the little dots, maybe not so much on this one, but the bigger one. It's got some hoop-de-doos in it, so I'm going to glue that on there. Oh, look, I missed some more. I didn't pick this out very good, you guys. But you could also leave the little dots in there because then your paper's not going to show through unevenly like mine does here. And so that may bug some of you. Let's try and trim that down a little bit. So some of you being me. This guy over here, he needs to go away too, but he's probably on there too good. We don't want it to show through the dots. I don't want the dots to, oh, look at that. And I just cut a hunk out of it. All right. So we're going to leave it like that now because we have no other choice. We can't keep trimming it down. It's trimmed as trimmed can be. All right. So now we're going to glue it on and we're going to leave it. We're going to set it aside now. Okay. Set it aside. Let it glue down. I got myself all worked up. I got to take my sweatshirt off. I'm stuck in it. All right, there we go. And now we'll bring in our card base. So I have basic beige, and it was 8.5 by 5.5. I scored at 4 1/4. Then I cut it off at 2 1/8. So 8.5 by 5.5, score it at 4 1/4, then cut off 2 1/8 off the end. I took this piece of pretty paper. It was one of the scenes, and I cut it into 2" by 5 3/8 strips. And we're just going to glue those on the front. So, Jean, late again. It doesn't matter if you're late or not. Thanks for watching, Jean. Hopping on with us. And then the second piece, we're just going to also put some glue on the back. And we're going to just glue it over on the inside. Now you could do another layer if you wanted of some color, but I wanted it to flow. Wanted these two pieces here to flow across. So we're going to get our Sentimental Framing set. And I use this You Make My Day That Much Brighter and My Love for You That Much Stronger. But I just used because, you know, it's a special person that you got to send that to. And you may have that special person to send it to. But we're going to pretend that we're making it up ahead of time and we'll pull it out when we need it. So I'm going to ink up just the top half. Now you could put a Post-it over the bottom, the words on the bottom, I'm hoping that I got that well enough. And we're going to just stamp it. And I'm going to wash it real quick and put it back. You make my day that much brighter. And then I put Thinking of You inside. We left out all the mushy gushy stuff. But if you got a mushy gushy feeling going on, feel free to mush it and gush it up. Okay, so let's wash this one off. I really like having the ability to just use parts of the words as well. It comes in handy because you don't always need or want the whole sentiment. All right, so let's take our bone folder and put that down. Now we're ready to glue on our front piece. So I'm just going to put some glue on the left, well, on this side. If we pick it up, it's the left side. If we're going to turn it, it's the right side. And then glue that down. Just try and eyeball or measure if you need to measure. Okay. Not sure why my glue's not. There we go. Okay. Then I have some basic beige 3 1/8" bordered ribbon because it's got the little stitching on the sides. This could be last year's ribbon. Thinking it is. When it came, all the in colors were like this. So I'm just going to tie a little knot. And this ribbon could possibly be a little bit thicker than what we want for this card. I'm not usually a big fan of the fatter ribbons. Don't know why. I think they're just too big, making too big of a statement on the front, but it'll work. So we'll get a glue dot or a, if you have tear tape, or I'll show you my other little trick. I get a, okay, where did I put them? I had a whole bunch of dimensionals that I put in a obvious place so that they were handy right there in front of me when I needed them. And oh, right here, leaning up against the other edge. So what I do is I'll cut my dimensional like way down in size. So this is like a quarter. And then I'll stick it on the ribbon. Kind of where the tail and the bow come together. And then that keeps the height of it down because I've got it's not on the knot, it's like over here on these sides next to the knot. And I didn't put anything else on the outside of this. You could try some gems if you wanted. I thought that the paper was busy enough that I didn't want to take too much away from the eye coming right here. So that's my first card. Oh, let's see. Let's put our little Jill Blanchett on the back. I think I was telling you guys, I'm trying to do this more, put my name on the back. But then when I was looking for a place to donate cards, they don't want anything on the back. They don't want you to have your name on the back. So, you know, it's 6 and 1/2 dozen of the other. If I go to sell them, I'm overwhelmed with trying to go through them all and stamp my name on the back. So I don't know. I have to play it by ear, I guess. So what I did then on this envelope, well, I can show you here too. I took the blooms, gallery blooms, and this is the same flower as this paper. So I inked that puppy up and I used black, but you know what? I bet it would look just as nice and less obnoxiously in your face if I used basic beige. But rather than run over there and get something else, I will just use black. So I'm going to ink up my black. Does not look like it's inking up very good, but we'll see. And then I just went along the front of the envelope, and I'm going to go at an angle to give room to like smallishly, and then I bring the stem down. Put your return address up at the top. Without giving you room there, and then still leaving room for the actual address here. And I didn't get the center of that. Can I do this again? Who's got faith in me? I don't think I got faith in myself. You gotta have faith. George. Is it George or Michael? I don't think. Well, I'm gonna do it. And yeah. So I did that on the front, but on the back, very subtly, can you see my little envelope there? I used the over here. I used this long. I wanted to see what this long bar did. And I figured it was going to make like a border, but I couldn't put it on my card, so I put it on the envelope. And that is what it makes. Just holes with all those little pin pricks and stuff in there. So I thought that was kind of cute. With that guy on the front, we could color him in. But that's our first card. And my second card uses the same idea, but I'm using different dies, different piece of paper, different everything. So we are going to use a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of cloud cover. I have a, oops, look at there. Is he going to show through? I'm going to hope not. I needed a Portage Northern Huskies money envelope, and so I was practicing with the size I needed for my little husky. And he's on the back. It should be okay. 2 sides to every paper, so we're going to stick that down. Put that on the inside. Now you could stamp a flower. Use a piece of the designer series paper. We'll see. I don't think I'm going to have enough left over to use a strip of it, so but that would be gorgeous on the inside because this is a gorgeous piece of paper. This pack of paper is just, everybody got that pack already? This Gallery Blooms paper. I figured it would have sold out in the first few days of being available, but maybe they've gotten wise to our paper addiction. So then my second layer is Secret Sea, and I use the damask design, and I ran it this way. I put the paper in this way so that so that damasks went this direction. Okay. And let's see, this one I turned inward. I think Julie calls that debossed. So I use the debossed side on this card. And I think I'm going to do the same thing here. I kind of like them sticking up, but not on this design, I'm thinking. But they are very pretty sticking up. I'm going to stick this down to the card. As you saw, it opened out. You could open it up as well if you wanted to switch it up. You could open it that way. Mine's going this way. I'm missing all my little corners. Then I used this die to create two of these like labels. I'm assuming because it's for the words, that the words are going to fit across there in the center. Not all of them, obviously, but some of, the longer ones are going to fit in there. So I created two of these in cloud cover. And I just want to glue them on and offset them like this. So we're going to glue those on. And like I said, this is one that you kind of can weave in and out of the, let me show you. You can weave in and out of the dots to get your glue on. Put that guy up here. Whoops, I missed some poking those out. And then we'll glue this one down to the bottom. You could pop these up. Super cute popped up, but I did not pop them up. I thought about it, but I wanted my flower to be the center of attention. I'm eyeballing the spacing. I think that looks pretty close. Then I took this piece. The whole thing is all these flowers, and the back is I can't really tell what it is on the back. It looks like a Y. I don't know, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut out. I'm going to use this big flower, and I'm going to show you how we can use up all the pieces of our design paper, all the different designs. Now, I don't have a pack here to show you what I'm talking about, but if you say have like the paper, the sip with the cups and the drinks on it, that might be a good one. If you look at it, where here's, so this is our piece of paper, where one edge of it, let me see if I got a pattern here that's, okay. So we're just going to use this one. How about I get two of them and see if it will do what I'm telling you. A lot of the bigger ones, if you lay them, you'll see that the design ends around the edge, but the next full piece was like cut from it. So let's come over here and see if this lines up. No, this isn't really probably going to be one. Maybe it is. It should. Nope, it's not. It should line up. So this page, the next page was cut from it. So if your cup runneth over onto this paper, it should be the portion that you're missing. So you can cut it out of the other piece. And then if you just strategically layered it or had something in there, or you cut it really great, you could line them up next to each other on your project. And you might not even see that you butted them up together. So that is a really cool thing that you can do with your paper. Or like this guy, I cut that one out, and we've got, I need some leaves for him, so I got to be careful. I got to cutting on my first one, and the I left all the leaves on and then cut them all off after. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to cut all the leaves off, and then I'll go back and just see what we're missing, because some of them looked really out of place. They were too tiny. So we will cut out the flowers. And then we'll go back and figure out what we need for the leaf. All right. So now this guy, you know, he's not like really even fully there. So just tuck him in. You could even, because this should be not so flat probably. It might be okay. Let's see, can I round that? He probably shouldn't be so flat. So let's try and curve that up a little bit. And then we can just cover up the first one. Or bring it down here maybe. No, I don't like it down there. So we're going to put it up here. I'm just going to put a little stick of glue on there. And I'm going to press my luck with. And so now we've got two flowers together. And then now we just can give it some leaves. So I'm going to come here to this big set. And our paper is getting so much better with how useful all the, you know, all the different designs and stuff are in it. So we can pop that in there like so. Does it look like a good place? Maybe I want that set of leaves down there. Then we need a couple leaves for the other flower. And as you can see, I'm hacking them up. I got some pretty useless kind of looking. You look at this paper and it just like says trash, throw it away. But if you just cut around it, And then we can glue them in there. Now we've got two beautiful flowers that we really had to create ourselves. So I'm going to stick the leaf in there. Maybe I want to just have it only attached to this bottom one. And then up here, I'll put a little bit of glue on these two pieces. And then I can stick my flower on it. So we've got our flowers done now. Let me stick that aside for a second. Let me find my words again. Knocking everything on the floor. And I used wishing you all the best. Let me find it, because you guys know I absolutely despise these plastic or these sheets showing us the words backwards. Wouldn't be all that bad if when you turn to the front of the box, that was the same place you found it on the inside. Why can they print it on the front? Oh, I guess this is 85%. That's why. They shrunk it down to fit on the front, and on the inside, you got to deal with it. Frustrates me. All right, so we stuck. Let me do it again. So we're going to do wishing you and then all the best. So wish me luck. Wishing you. Now remember, you can mask it with a Post-it or whatever you want to use. Just another piece of paper. Anything to cover up the words that you didn't want to get the ink on. So I could have used this, stuck it like that, tapped it in my ink here, and then taken that away. Anything that you can use to make the mask. I'll do it on this side. So now we want to cover up the wishing you. We just want all the best. And this is actually an easier way to do it because you really are ensuring yourself that you're only going to ink what you want. But, you know, you got to live on the edge sometimes. All the best. Wishing you all the best. See, so another great saying, doesn't fit my need. So you make it fit. You just split it up. And now it is what you needed. Okay, so we did wishing you all the best. Let me close that blue. That would just be horrible to be wearing that color on every finger and piece of clothing I have on. Let me close up my glue. All right, so now we're going to just flip this over and fill it up with dimensionals. So where I glue, I often like to put a dimensional just to make sure that those little guys are going to stay there. If by chance the glue I used wasn't exactly in the right spots or the leaves aren't quite on the paper far enough, the dimensional will help it stay where you will need it to be. And then we're just going to kind of give this a turn to go on there. Then I have, do I not have? I do not have. I cut these little gems up for the winner's kit next week and didn't put them back in the box. So these are the what are they called? Pecan pie and clear ribboned gems, something like that, because I don't know if you could see inside of it. Can you see the little lines and like inside of it? Uh-oh, I think my computer died. I hope I'm still there. No one's calling me, so I'm hoping I'm still there. We're almost done. My computer was running really hot today, and I think it just died out on me. Because I know the battery was full, but it was running really hot. So we're just gonna put some of these little ribboned gems on there. We'll put some more down here. And that is it, you guys. We are all done. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to get my computer back to sign off. So I'm just going to go with it like this. And that is our second card. So we made 2 cards with the Sentimental Framing. Here's the first one that we did. I'm going to have to get my goober remover and try and get the glue off I smeared on there. So there's our first card that we made. And then here's the second card that I made with the Sentimental Framing dies and the stamp set. And those are in the online exclusives right now, not the catalog, in the online exclusives. Oh, and then I forgot to show you, I used a little bit of the paper for the envelope. And I'm going to show you a little trick. Where'd my glue go? I think because my envelopes aren't, let me put the glue on the envelope. My envelopes are a little bit different size. I think I'm using a little bit more glue than normal. Or not glue, paper than normal to fill up the envelope, but I just took the paper, I laid it on the flap, and I called it good. I'm going to trim this off, and I'm going to show you what I did to make it work. Improvise, because I love the flap being done. But I didn't have enough paper, so I'm going to pull it in my trimmer, and I cut the flap down, and I only have a little smidgy of glue on there now. But I'm hoping that whoever, you know, if I sold this card, would understand that they need to peel that off, because there's a lot of envelopes that have this on it now. So you could peel that off and glue it shut. I had an extra piece of paper for the flapper, and it just stepped it up a notch. So there you go, everybody. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you got to finish watching the whole thing. I will go and check right now that I'm done. And I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, hanging out with me, commenting. If you're ready to take the plunge, let me know. We can get you signed up and get you crafting with your $165 worth of goodies. And I will see you. Oh, the 25th is coming up. So I will see you the 25th before I see you next Wednesday. So I will see you for my Christmas card on the 25th. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. And bear with me while I figure out how to end my video.